morning. Welcome to Drawing Friends Together. I'm here to practice with you. Do you want to draw a face with me today? When you start a drawing, you start with a few light lines. I'm using this blue here. Find a color that's not black and do some very light lines. This process involves putting in some construction lines. Put in a little bit of map marks where it is. You're going to change these, but it's okay. Your first lines are sketchy, quick, energetic, full of love, and I'm grateful for people who let me draw them. I've drawn a lot of people in the last few days because I was listening to General Conference. General Conference is so awesome. I like drawing people who are moving. It's kind of interesting how astonishing it is to me that my brain can actually pick a pose that someone's been in. You know how people speak and then they return their heads to the same position kind of frequently. And your brain can sort of pick that out. Okay. If you're drawing from a photo, you can actually use measuring tools. If you would like to use your pencil, you can. You can say, well, how much is it from the end of her nose to the top of her head? And it looks like I've got more than I need here. And then you adjust the lines. So if you've got a perfect face you want to draw, you can do that. As you look at your image, you can just, you look and you look and you look and you compare and you look and you compare and you look and you compare and look. And the whole time your hand is going, it is going to get better. You have a sort of amazing ability to get a line down and put it in the right place, and you kind of trust your hand. And then you put the line down and then you go back and you check and you adjust. A human eyeball space and then an eyeball, it's about the same amount of space. So if you've got this enormous amount of space between your eyes, the way they do in cartoons, you realize you're being a little cartoony. That's okay. You can be cartoony if you wish. The eye is the most important part. You spend quite a lot of time on the eyes. I do this and line up on the eye line where the eye is. Like this. This girl I'm drawing, she was at church, the missionaries, and I was trying to draw them from the side, from behind. And then when I greeted them afterward, I asked, can I have a picture of you so I can draw you? And they said yes. So I have permission here to draw this person. I'm trying to do this practice video for you in 5-10 minutes. So, I'm trying to be fast here. Being fast doesn't mean sloppy. It just means energetic, right? Yeah. Okay, I have a habit, I have noticed after drawing a lot of faces, I have a habit of putting this space too close to the nose, the mouth too close to the nose. So when I get there, I measure and I double check. Oh, she has beautiful teeth. When you get emotionally involved in your subject and they have a beautiful face and they're kind of intimidating, that can get in the way of your drawing sometimes. Not that I'm intimidated by her beautiful teeth, but you know. Now, lips, you don't need to outline lips. When you're drawing, you actually just draw the parts that are actually dark. You draw the actual dark places. If you're drawing a cartoon, you add things that are not there. See, the bottom of this nose is in shadow. And these cheeks, these good smile lines right here are shadows. But it's a wide shadow. There you go. So when you do 150,000 of these, you get some practice. And pretty soon you just want to draw all the time. Draw all the people you see. I just want to draw all the people I see. We went to the hospital yesterday, my husband and I. He went to see somebody who was sick, and he brought his guitar, played music, and the kid calmed down. And we are grateful that something helped him be comforted. He was in pain. He's kind of a nonverbal kid. He has a few words that he can say, but he loves music. And I pulled out I was talking to the dad, and he was looking at me intently, and I was just thinking about his face and where the lines were on his face and how I'd like to draw him. So I pulled out my notebook. It wasn't even a sketchbook, it's just a lined notebook. Blue lines on it, like school notebook. I started drawing him as he was looking at me and talking. Then he looked somewhere else, and I drew him from that point of view too. And you can draw pretty quickly. And a lot of times when I'm morning, a lot of times when I'm drawing and people see me drawing, they'll come up and say something unkind about themselves, not about me, about themselves. They'll say, oh, I can't draw stick figures. I can't draw anything, but you can tell that they wish they could. They have the desire that they could draw better. I try to encourage them. I say, yeah, it's a skill. You can learn how to draw. And it's like writing. How did we learn how to write? We taught ourselves. We learned in school how to write. This is an A. This is a B. And how did you learn how to draw those? Because somebody put down something, you traced it, you did it over and over again. Writing is actually drawing. It's drawing these particular shapes. And you learn how to recognize when you've done it better, and you learn how to recognize when you could do it better by comparing it to a model that they give you of how it is the correct shape. I think I've got this forehead too high. There are things you can do to faces that change them so they're not actually correct, but they still kind of have the same likeness of the person. And that's when you get into caricature. You can elongate the face and stuff, but it still kind of looks like them because you have this correct. It's the nose, eyes, mouth. If these are in pretty close orientation to how they really look, you can get the look of the person. And other things can be wrong. The ears can be too big. The hair is different. All right. So if you notice, I started very lightly, and then I went and I put some darker things in, and then I went and put some darker things in, and I still haven't put in the darkest, because you want to save the darkest for last. The darkest marks are harder to erase, so if you put those in first and they happen to not be in the correct place and you want to erase it, you'll get this feeling like, I messed up, and you'll want to throw the paper away. So that's why you start light. Of course, you can throw the paper away. Just don't give up. You gotta keep trying. Had an art teacher walk by my art class, my work, and he said, "Oh, it's a good start. Keep going." And I thought, but I don't know how to keep going. I don't even know what I'm doing now. How do I keep going from this? And that is why you watch people draw. Watching people draw is what you paid for by going to art school. Am I drawing on the right tooth? The important thing about teeth is you just sort of indicate that they have teeth. You don't have to draw every tooth. It's unnecessary. It's very distracting to see all those lines. The important part is these dark areas right here in the corners of the teeth. Corners of the mouth right there. This girl is serving in Utah on her mission, but she actually is from Germany. She learned English before she came on her mission. She actually knows English really well. Okay, what do we have here? I've got the eyes a little too wide. I could bring this cheek out a little bit, but it almost doesn't matter. I think the wideness of my blue line is indicating. It makes me think that I've got it too wide, but it's actually okay. Okay. Have I given you a clue? Gotta try. Gotta just try. Just gotta work on it a little bit every day. Okay, let's give her some ears and some hair. And she's got her cute little earrings on. And a neckline. So I look and see at what point does the neck attach to the face. It's about right in here. And she's got a ruffly dress neckline on. And her nice little name tag, Sister Ika. Now if you want to, you can use your pencil. This is the trick, you see. You line up your pencil with something and then you just transfer it over and you see if you got the line correctly. After a while, you'll be really astonished that you actually put down the right line angle or really close just by eyeballing it like this. Because this bottom one is not the same as the top one. It's in perspective a little bit. It's kind of going smaller this direction. And she's got her shoulder bag here. Like that. See what you got. You know how when you're throwing a basketball on a hoop, you can just willy-nilly throw it, and sometimes you get lucky. But if you concentrate, look beforehand, take a breath, aim, you are lucky more often. You get it in there, and after, I don't know how many zillions of practices, that basketball will go in that hoop most of the time. And you will have awesome success, and people will just be like, wow, you're so amazing. And it's really down to how many hours throwing that hoop in. See this distance? It should have been bigger. From the bottom of her neck, bottom of her chin, right here. So I look at the distance between here and there. right there like that. I cut her chin a little bit too long. I'm not putting a hard line at the bottom of her chin because really it's just sort of a soft shadow area. And there's this shape, the shadow shape under here. And then there's a shape, a space right there, and then the ruffle starts like that. One time I was drawing a mother holding a baby, and I got it right except for her face. You know how you hold a baby and you put your chin down on her beautiful little head. Well, her head was on her chin was down on her baby's head, and I didn't get it close enough. And I'm like, well, okay, whatever. Was it good enough? And she accepted it. Like, oh, that's good enough. But I just didn't think it was good enough because that's the sweet little dear moment. That's the precious thing where you feel something when you look at the picture. And I kind of just erased it. But I didn't really have the confidence to erase it and start over. I wasn't sure I'd be able to get it right again. By practicing a lot of times, you can be sure that you can get it right again. It's okay to erase and do it again. Unlike words, which when you say them, they are out in the world and you can't take them back. Unlike words, pencils have erasers. You can take it back and do it again. All right, there's a little practice. I hope that by drawing for you, it has shown you something and you have learned a little something and you are feeling the excitement and happiness that comes from drawing and being creative. God is a creator. You are his child. By creating something every day, you come closer to him and you can be happier and feel more connected to his beautiful work by doing a little beautiful work of your own. All right. Have a lovely day.